If you ever felt frustrated with yourself for not taking action, even when you know exactly what to do, I want you to hear this first. It's not a character flaw and it's not a discipline problem. So many people think that they are stuck because of procrastination, that procrastination is the real problem. But procrastination is the symptom, it is not the real problem. You have been thinking that you have a procrastination problem. If that's you, type yes in the comments below. But I need you to know that it is the effect of an underlying cause that stops you from taking action. So, procrastination may seem like the issue, but that's not what the issue really is. The internal issue is something else. And probable causes that you would have heard about that people talk about are fear of failure, lack of clarity, self doubt, overwhelm, lack of purpose, and many more things. When I created a list uh, of probable causes of procrastination, I got to 27 different causes. But all of that actually narrowed down to just one thing, which is what I want to talk to you about today. The real cause is inner conflict. Now let's understand why it is the real cause and what it really means. So, inner conflict means when you are conflicted with yourself. Like one part of you wants growth and the other part of you wants safety. Now, we all know that the part of us that wants safety is the brain, and the brain always will prioritize safety. And it's not your fault. It's not like you have trained your brain to prioritize safety. So, not like you have trained your brain, but it's how the human brain has evolved. It has always looked to keep us safe. That's why we have been the race that has taken over the globe. Now, the brain will do everything in its power to keep you safe. This is what you need to understand. And this is why you would have seen overthinking, negative thinking, all of that pop up. Negative thoughts, overthinking. You start imagining failure, and your brain actually creates fear so that you don't move forward. It's very simple. If you don't move forward, you don't go into an uncomfortable area, and then you are safe. Comfort is safety for the brain. So that is what the brain does. It tries everything possible to stop you from taking action. That's why it's so difficult to actually take action unless you are aligned. Once you align your identity, action happens when that alignment happens. Once you are aligned with who you need to be, once this action you know is aligned with who you actually need to be, not what you need to achieve, but who do you actually need to be, then action becomes automatic. Then it doesn't feel like effort, it doesn't feel like work. Let me explain why forced discipline will always fail. What is forced discipline is when you force yourselves using your willpower. So it works only in the short term. You could probably force yourselves to create a reel, but you cannot keep forcing yourselves to do something for a year. It's not possible, and if you do that, you will absolutely drain yourselves. You will kill yourselves, you will burn yourselves out. When it is forced, it takes up a lot of energy and willpower because you are not doing what you want to do. Simple. That is what we mean by force. And when we do what we don't want to do, it drains our energy. You cannot force a behavior that contradicts your self image. If you want to do a behavior and your self image says something else, I'll give you a personal example. I was doing webinars, and in some of the webinars, because the show up was low, I started behaving as if there were many people in the webinar. I closed the chats to only chat with me so that no one knows. And I was using Zoom webinar, okay? So no one knows how many people are actually there, how many people are even interacting with me. I thought that will be the intelligent thing to do. But my self image has always been that I'm an authentic person, that I don't lie. So what happened? What happened was very simple. Every time I did that, every time I acted as if there were many people, it lowered my energy. And by the time I got to the sales pitch, my energy was gone. And I tried this for two, three, four webinars. And you know what then happened? How the outer world connects with the inner world? Because I was feeling so bad about doing it, I started seeing zero show up for the webinar. People stopped showing up altogether. The ads were the same, the messaging was the same, the landing page was the same, everything was the same. But people stopped showing up. One reason only, because I did not want to lie. So people stopped showing up. So that was a personal example that I thought would help you. So if you force a behavior that is against your self concept, your self image, it's not going to work. It can work maybe in the short term, long term, it will really, really kill you. You want to be consistent, but you don't think you have the discipline to do it. There's a conflict here, right? Everyone wants to be consistent. You also want to be consistent, but as soon as you start something, you know that I'm not disciplined enough to carry this forward, to follow through. And when you think that and when you do that, there's a conflict. And that is what will drain you. That is what will make it seem as if it's like a mountain of effort to even create a piece of content or to even go on a call. Identity will always beat willpower. Please understand this. You can use your willpower for short term things like creating a reel, but you cannot use your willpower for coaching someone. You can't do that. You need to do that from your identity. Identity will always feel natural. Identity will always feel human to you. And it will always feel easy. Because if someone is, let's say, someone is always on time, being on time is easy for them. When they stop being on time, that's where the conflict starts. But if someone who is not punctual, and if they try to show up on time, and if they say that I will show up on time, and they push themselves, they use their willpower, they can only use it so much because willpower is a very limited resource. Identity is limitless. Once it's in your identity, it becomes natural. Now let's understand what overwhelm is, because some of you may be thinking, you may not be agreeing with the identity thing, but you may be thinking, I just get overwhelmed, so I don't start. So let me explain what overwhelm is. The myth is that overwhelm happens when you have too much work. And I'm sure this is what you are also thinking. I have 20 different tasks to do, that's why I get overwhelmed. But it's not about the 20 tasks. The truth is, it happens when you have too many unresolved decisions. If you made the decision and you have clarity on what you have to do, overwhelm cannot stop you. You will not feel overwhelmed even if you're doing 100 tasks. And it's a characteristic of the mind. Again, is the mind trying to stop you from taking action because it wants to stay in the comfort zone. If your priorities are not clear, your brain literally freezes. Imagine that you are driving a car and it's raining heavily. There's rain or there's fog, but you cannot see the road ahead. Will you be confident to drive on that road? Will you feel safe driving on that road? You won't, and then you won't drive, you will wait. That's exactly what your brain does. When it doesn't see clarity, when it doesn't see clearly on what's coming up, on what it has to do, where it has to go, it freezes. Okay? And once you become clear about who you are and what you want, both things, overwhelm cannot stop you. You will not feel overwhelmed. Once you know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and who you are, how that's connected with who you are, you'll do it naturally. So many people. You can also think about your own life where things come naturally to them. Like for me, talking comes to me naturally. Making new friends, meeting new people comes to me naturally. Will I ever get overwhelmed that I have to talk so much? I don't think so. because I enjoy doing it. It's part of my core. And just become aware of it right now. Whatever it is that you love doing, does it ever overwhelm you? Even if you have to do it, like let's say you like to play one game, and then someone asks you to play 5 games. Will it overwhelm you? It will not. It will not. Because you are just increasing the number of what you already like doing. Overwhelm happens when you increase the number of what you don't want to do. And it doesn't even have to be 20 tasks. One task that you really don't want to do, that you really don't feel like doing. And if you know you have to do it, overwhelm will stop you. It will give you 10 reasons that you should not move forward. Now, let's talk about the solution. Let me give you the inner power formula. And it's very simple. First thing you need is clarity. What do I want? Why do I want it? What can I do now to move towards it? You don't have to think about the entire action plan for the year. I've seen people do that where they plan for the entire year. It may work in some MNCs and projects, it doesn't work on a personal level. Yes, high level, you can set an intention, but you cannot plan technically. Okay. You will only always see the next 100, 200 meters. You will never see the entire road from where you are now to where you want to go. So, clarity is important. Ask yourself these 3 questions. So what do I want? Why do I want it? And don't just be at the surface. Dig deep. Why do you really want it? Then, what can I do now to move towards it? Did you see what can I do next year, next month, next week, tomorrow? No. What can I do now to move towards it? Take a small action. Do it. Simple. Embrace confidence. Look at your past and find the evidence that you have overcome difficult challenges. What will happen is once you are about to start something, your brain will give you enough reasons that you can fail. It will keep telling you that's a big challenge, you've never overcome it before, you will not be able to do it. But if you sit and you think and you make your brain think and find the evidence in your past where you have actually overcome difficult challenges, probably more difficult than what you are undergoing right now, then your brain instantly obeys you. It follows you, it lets you follow through. Okay. And having confidence never means it will happen 100%. You can never be sure of the result. But what it means is that I will give my 100% and I will make it happen. That's confidence. Confidence is not that the result will come. Confidence is that I will give my 100% and I will bring the result. Okay. That will only happen when you first acknowledge that you have achieved some results. If you keep telling yourself that I'm a failure, your confidence is going to keep eluding you forever. And the third part of the framework is discipline. Now, this is not forced discipline. This is where you start small. You pick one thing and you do it consistently. And you keep celebrating. Every time you do it, you celebrate. You give yourselves a pat on the back or you do something small to celebrate it. Could we have directly jumped into college or did we need to go through pre primary, primary, and secondary schooling? We needed to go through that. Same way, in order to start doing big things, you have to first concentrate on doing small things consistently. Because every time you do even something small, it creates a pattern in yourself that I'm something who does things, that I'm someone who does things, that I'm someone who follows through, that I'm becoming consistent. That creates your identity. And then once it becomes your identity, it becomes easy. You need to know that this is part of the process. Understand that every time you do something, when you commit to something and you do it, even if it's very, very small, it's creating that identity within, that I'm someone who follows through, that I'm a finisher, that I do what I say. And then the stronger that identity becomes, the bigger the projects or the tasks that you can undertake. If you start by running for a marathon without first practicing in a 100-meter, you will fail. First, see if you can do a 100-meter. Give yourself that evidence, I can do it. Then move on to 200 meters. Give yourself that evidence, I can do it. Then move on to the marathon eventually. So that's the clarity, confidence, discipline. That's the CCD framework for inner power. You use this, and procrastination will come, but you will know how to overcome it. Your brain, you cannot change how it operates. It will still give you negative scenarios, it will still give you fear. But when you are operating out of clarity, confidence, and discipline, that fear will not stop you. It will make you alert, but it will not stop you. Now let's integrate everything that we learned. Few simple things. Don't ask, how do I push myself? Wrong question. Instead, ask yourselves, what's misaligned inside me? If you are unable to move, if you're not able to take action on something, that means something is misaligned. Find where that misalignment is. Usually it's with identity. Okay. The same actions will feel effortless once you align yourself with them. When you at the identity level feel that, yes, this is something I can do, the same actions that once overwhelmed you, that you once avoided, delayed, they will feel effortless. Okay. And if you want personal support to activate your clarity, confidence, and discipline, if you think all of this is good, but Vinay, how do I go about doing it? There'll be more videos coming up where I talk about it in detail. But if you really want to sit with me and get personal support on how to activate these things for you, on how to activate your inner power, then you can book a breakthrough session with me. You can find the link in the description below. So that was it for today. And the main question we answered throughout this was very simple. Why do we know what to do and still don't do it? Okay. Leave a comment with your biggest takeaway and check the pinned comment as well as the description where you'll find the link if you need one to one support.